When we are talking about getting a divorce in India, we all know that there are two basic ways to go about it. The first is, of course, getting a divorce by mutual consent, and the other is, well, getting a divorce without mutual consent, but both the parties do not agree on getting a divorce. And when we are talking about divorce without mutual consent, there are further seven legal grounds under which a person can file for divorce. We have already covered these grounds in our previous videos, and today we'll be focusing on one of the grounds, that is the cruelty clause. Welcome back to the YouTube channel of Get Me a Divorce. Today we'll be telling you about the cruelty clause in the Indian divorce laws. If we are to define the term cruelty in the legal context, it refers to the conduct by a spouse that causes bodily harm or mental problems to the other spouse. And if we look at this term without the legal context, then it is a very ambiguous term and it can be translated and interpreted in many different ways. If you are alleging physical abuse, then that is quite often easier to prove given that there can be physical evidence as compared to mental abuse. And is of course a solid ground for divorce. The evidence is fairly easier to collect in case of physical abuse and can be documented in the form of photographs, FIR reports if the police has been involved previously, and even eyewitnesses if the assault was carried out in front of other individuals. And if you can prove in court that living with your spouse for any more time will be a danger to your life, then the courts will most definitely be on your side and you can get a divorce fairly easily. This is the case when you are claiming physical abuse, but if you are alleging that you have been mentally abused by your spouse, then things tend to get a little more trickier. As it stands today, mental abuse as a form of cruelty has a clear scope of being considered a ground for divorce if one spouse is engaging in activities that are having a major impact on the mental health and well being of the other spouse, also making it impossible for the marriage to continue. One very important thing that you should keep in mind while applying for divorce, citing mental cruelty as a ground, is that you have to prove the acts that led to your mental agony. Just the intention of one party to be cruel towards the other party is not ground enough for a divorce. If you can prove that you have been mentally abused, then the Indian judiciary is on your side as well. The Indian courts have previously granted divorce on the basis of mental abuse. Threats of suicide, wrong allegations of adultery, constant demand for dowry, and persistent abuse of substances have all been reason enough for the courts to grant divorces in the past. In such cases, the court stated that given the treatment of the spouse, the couple cannot reasonably be asked to live together in a marriage. Often, it is difficult even for victims to accept to themselves that they have been victimized. At Get Me a Divorce, we understand that the very reason you're watching this video right now is because you are in a precarious situation and we are here to help you out. Cruelty, be it mental or physical, is something that no man or woman deserves, and it is your right as an individual, as a human being, to get yourself out of harm's way. You can visit our website www.getmeadivorce.com to consult a legal expert and know your options of getting out of the marriage you are being abused in. You can also reach out to us over social media. We are on Instagram and Facebook @GetMeADivorce. Remember that it is your right as a human being to save yourself, and we are just here to help you. Visit www.getmeadivorce.com today.